with your friends, you with your fam. God damn, he won't save you, but there's something fancy hiding behind thin veils of perception.
Hello, this is Off the Record, a podcast brought to you by the Valdosta Daily Times. I'm Dalton, and this is my co-person Desiree.
Hello.
Today on Off the Record, we're on the record with Hurricane Party, a Florida hip-hop duo described as yacht rap. Ceschi, he's from New Haven, Connecticut. He's a hip-hop artist who fuses elements of punk, folk, and indie into his raps.
Hi.
And, yeah, cool. And Andy the Doorbum, who's experimental folk, weird punk stuff that looks... it looks like you got like a black metal costume on stage. Like it's kind of like theater deal. It's kind of cool. Like performance art stuff.
Performance art, I would say.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
what I have on my notes. Theatrical performance. And then I just have a question mark. It's fine.
The question mark is maybe a good...
The most
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
It's like Prince.
Somebody was
Yeah.
saying that it was like this guy that was talking about the show last night was like, oh, that pagan guy in the beginning.
Yes.
We hear that in Europe a lot. Where you're like,
There's like, dude.
they say that kind of stuff. Like they talk about like the pagan thing or like the
Andy's a pagan
They think it's
god.
like
Yeah.
satanic or something. It's like
They
no, it's
got
not.
real earthy on that one.
It's actually not at all.
That's why it looks kind of like black metal to me. Like it's sort of
Mhm.
That makes sense.
it's like Norwegian folklore, but I guess less satanic. But could you guys just introduce yourselves, just like your names or like your stage names, so that way everybody can match up their voices?
Do you want us to dance, or should we just like
People.
sit?
You can dance.
You
if you'd
could
like to.
dance.
It's just for our
My name
benefit.
is
now.
Rick.
But whoever is listening on the other end of this would not be able to see
Yeah.
it.
You can't
Unless
hear
somebody
me dancing.
describes the dancing.
They can feel it, yeah. Through the...
Rick looks like a rubber band right now. It's real
Oh,
loose.
yeah.
You should start since it's the one.
My name is Rickolas, and I'm in the Hurricane Party.
My name's Bluebird. I am also in Hurricane Party from Florida. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Rick's
Yeah,
from
we're-
Jacksonville. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. We're kind of spread out.
Duval.
Duval.
Broward.
My name is Ceschi Ramos, and I'm in the band Ceschi. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut.
My name is Andy the Doorbum, and I live in Los Angeles currently, by way of North Carolina and the Allegheny Mountains in Pennsylvania.
Cool. I want to hop over here first and just ask you to define yacht rap for me, for the love of God. Like,
It's a joke that just like went too
Yeah.
far. That's the. I think.
Now there's a whole record.
Yeah. Not even that. Not like saying we're a joke, but like
But we are.
marketing is kind of
Yeah.
a joke in the sense that you just say anything you want to say, and then like publicists will just like repeat it and make it a real thing. So we never intended to even call ourselves yacht rap.
yeah.
Until
It was
we
just like,
did.
It was just like what we put on our Instagram profile. Because before that, it said like vape pop, like whatever that is.
Yeah.
But that didn't catch. So,
Yeah, that didn't work as well
yeah.
as yacht rap. So then
So all of a sudden, yeah, people just started calling it
Yeah.
yacht rap, and we're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I
it's
dig
like
it.
if Christopher Cross.
Christopher Crisscross.
Exactly.
That
Just thought of
actually,
that.
yeah, that should be your new profile.
Christopher Crisscross. That's us, basically, in a nutshell.
Right? We never
In a coconut shell.
we both been making
Bum.
music respectively
Emphasis
for
on the
like
coke part.
20 years.
Yeah.
Me rap music, but Rick like I don't know, folk, Americana, singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And we just meant to get together. We've been friends forever, never made music together. Both have made music with a lot of the same people. We always sleep in each other's house. I would routinely sleep in his studio, and we never thought, maybe we should try something.
Yeah, just randomly show up and you'll be sleeping in that studio.
Just
It's
yeah,
like,
he'll
what
come
are you
to
doing
record
here?
and I'm there. So yeah, we got together to make like, I don't know, 4 songs, and we were like, let's just make some weird songs and put it on Bandcamp. And that weekend, I drove up and we made like 10 songs.
Just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the beginning.
yeah. Our copy desk editor actually, she just keeps singing "Hurricane Party" over
Yes.
and over at her desk.
Yes.
Every time we said these are who we're interviewing later, she just would keep saying it's a hurricane party, and
Yeah.
just over and over.
Hey,
It
Yeah,
would be
it's
cool if like the Miami Hurricanes fan base would start singing that.
be cool.
Yeah,
if
that'd be cool.
I'll have
Y'all
my
were
people
playing that when I came in.
Thank you.
So, that would be cool, honestly. Don't worry, we'll lead it in with the podcast. We'll
cool.
fill it in.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing, while I was looking y'all up and that sort of thing, all of you have connections to Astronautalis.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Majorly.
What's up with that? I guess.
Well,
Starts
to start
here.
with, Rick grew up with him.
Yeah, he started. We grew up in Jacksonville, and I was like playing in bands, and that's where he spent. It's a lot of the formative like teenage years. So we grew up and performed alongside each other for years. We grew up together. So then it goes to once he started touring.
Yeah, Andy
Like
and I
that.
were both like solo rap acts running around Florida, and people just kept telling us about each other. And I think the first night we met was Common Grounds in Gainesville. We were on the same bill, and he invited me up to freestyle, and like we rapped about how like we've known each other for so long, and it was all a lie, but everyone believed it. So I just kind of was like, oh yeah, these guys know each other.
What
And,
year was it?
1785. I don't know, like early 2000s probably, and
Came over here on the Mayflower.
yeah, and we got married in Austin, and it was a big to do.
I actually met Andy in 2008 in Fresno, California at an event that was done at like a family fun center.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were both flown out for this show by this group out there, and we just clicked. Well, we had been in the same underground hip hop circles for years.
Yeah.
But that's how we met, and then I talked to you around those same years, really. Through the internet.
Posse cut.
Yeah, we did
So it
a
wasn't
posse cut
like-
with 27 people on it.
It wasn't like Andy was sort of like the center person. It was just sort of like you all knew each other. Like,
He's our Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it seems like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, and we were
And
always
we
trying
met
to through.
We sort of met. And I heard of Andy the Doorbum through Andy Astronautalis.
And I met him because I worked at a club in Charlotte, North Carolina called the Milestone.
Yeah.
Probably around 2005 or 2006, Andy and Brock, his manager, started coming through. And I gave Brock a CD of stuff that I had been working on, and I think he shared that, or like that's how we all became friends.
Well, yeah,
And-
shortly after I came through with Andy and met you.
Yeah.
And that's like after we did the Freebird stuff.
That's true, yeah.
I actually met you before I met this guy.
Yeah, and I didn't realize I met Andy before you
And
had met Andy.
Another odd connection is that Andy. Another odd connection that's important to note is that Andy Astronautalis was the first to tour in the Czech Republic out of all of our friend group, and now we all tour in the Czech Republic regularly every year.
We all have
He
the
was
same,
the
we have the
catalyst.
same like Eastern European booking agent, all of
Yeah,
us.
because of Andy, yeah,
Because of
and
Andy,
Brock.
yeah.
Yeah, so we really owe a lot to Andy Astronautalis.
What is y'all's like reception out there with fans in like the Czech Republic and Eastern
Real
Europe?
good.
Real good. And it's because Andy laid some groundwork, but also Adam, our booking agent, was in like a very popular hardcore band in like that part of Europe.
GNU, it was
GNU.
called.
And so he just kind of like built his booking agency on the reputation of him in that band.
Yeah.
So like when we first started going, people didn't necessarily know us, but it's the kind of thing where if Adam sends you, then you know it's good.
Yeah.
So like that's how all of us managed to kind of carve that path in that part of the world.
And he doesn't really do it for money. He will only book something that he really feels passionately about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone has come to trust his taste. Like if he books something, everyone in the country pretty much knows like this will be something interesting to see.
Yeah.
There's like a
It's always a very open-minded reception.
It might
Yeah.
be something like how the DIY house works here.
Yeah, it's a
where
really cool
if-
DIY.
I haven't been there yet, but it's like a whole circuit of DIY spaces
Yeah.
throughout all of the Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Some crazy places.
Really?
like old churches in the woods and
I played in like
where like 50 people will like walk to get
Play
like
in
through
the-
the forest to get there.
the
Just, like,
graveyard. Did
amazing.
you play in the graveyard?
I played in the
Yeah.
graveyard.
Jewish graveyard?
I slept there.
I bet that's
You
hard to
slept
load
in the graveyard.
We played at the zoo this year.
We played at the zoo. And where was that?
I don't remember.
Tell a
It
couple
was.
castles.
Hold on a second.
A couple castles.
Couple castles, yeah. That's how
Zoo, museum.
Was
But
it
none of
Olomouc?
Yes.
Olomouc.
No.
I'm just gonna say yes.
So what is the zoo?
Oh, it was like the zoo of this little village.
It's like actual animals there? Or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just-
Yeah, dude.
Like
And there was like a
bar.
cafe that like
Yeah.
you walk outside the zoo, and this is where you get beers and like snacks or whatever. And then I was like, "Is this where we're playing?" The promoter got there and was like, "Yeah, we'll set up a PA right here, and I was like, oh my god.
Like right on the other side of the fence, there was animals.
Yeah.
Like a snack bar.
But it was
like
awesome.
what kind of like animals?
Like it turned out
like everything. What you'd think in a zoo.
like elephants or
Well, it was a smaller
Yeah,
zoo,
well.
so I think there was like
what
some,
city was it?
everything was sleeping. There was
Where are the
definitely
ones?
some tigers,
okay.
like big cats. You know,
Yeah, so
I think
whenever
it
you
was
say
too
you
dark to
almost
tell.
didn't make it, you mean you almost didn't make it to the show, or you almost didn't make
Well,
it
the
out alive?
GPS was getting us to this like, it was like go down this street, and we're like, okay,
GPS is dicey in Czech.
because their streets are dicey.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, we drove down a mountain walking path.
Yeah, and we're
Got
like,
to a point where
it says just keep
up
going.
there.
I'm like, we're like, dude, this doesn't look like a road that cars are supposed to go on. And there's like, you're like on a ledge.
It's gonna drive.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else.
Yeah.
But you
There's
just
like if
gotta
you went
trust
like
it.
this, it would be like,
You
and
got
we're
to
like,
trust
I
it.
think
I've
we got to
taken some,
reverse
like,
out of here.
I've driven through some like
Man, yeah,
fields,
everywhere.
like where the number
So
of the road
coastal.
on the GPS
So
is like
coastal.
7 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go over a stream, like over a wooden rickety bridge, and like, hey, that's where we're playing.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
that's the
And
type
then
of.
and then you get to those places and you think like, this is so strange. Like no one's gonna come to this, and then
And
like
all
the
these
whole
people.
town shows up. It's just like, what is
Like
going
100
on?
pumped kids.
Yeah.
It's just like this is amazing. Like we're in the middle of nowhere, and there's just like an amazing little experience going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people are very interested and
Of
very
all kinds
welcoming,
of
and
people. Too.
Yeah.
all different kinds. It's an incredible thing that they have there.
That's pretty
It's a
insane.
beautiful time for sure.
Yeah.
So you also play like big cities out there and that sort of thing. Is that
Yeah.
sort of like
Prague and
Yeah.
Brno,
Brno.
Prague, those are the 2 biggest.
Is that more
Pilsen,
like
which is
here?
the third
or-
biggest, huh?
I'm sorry. Is that sort of more like the States in that way? Like
No.
no, not at all.
Everything
Still
over
pretty
there
special
is
in its own
small.
way.
Mm-hmm. Still feels small, is what you said.
Yeah, just in like the sheer population.
Prague is a huge city.
Prague
Yeah,
is a
but
pretty
even though-
huge city, but it doesn't. It's European cities are different than
Yeah,
American
like the
cities.
biggest,
Mm-hmm.
like their big cities are like our small cities.
You're talking in Czech. Yeah, not
Or
in Europe. Not in Europe.
Even
as a
in
whole.
Germany. I feel like I was in Cologne, and I was
Cologne.
like, this is the third biggest city, and I was like, this is the third biggest city in Germany? And I was like looking at the population, I was like, that's as much almost as Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jacksonville's a huge. You can't compare. Jacksonville's
Yeah,
the
but
biggest
it's not
in
like
the
you go to like
United States.
Chicago and it's like, oh, that's
Yes.
like that's a ridiculous, that's like the whole country.
But Berlin,
Germany.
Frankfurt, Munich, those are huge cities.
Yeah, they're big cities, but I'm still like saying even their big cities are kind of big cities, but they're not like Atlanta
Right.
or
Yeah,
like New York or,
that's
like,
true.
or LA or something. It's just like those are massive,
Fair.
and so the roads are smaller and the buildings are smaller and everything's
But-
smaller. 'Cause
But a city like Prague would be like lots of tours and things go there, like big.
Oh,
tours,
yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
they get
it's
great
a-
shows.
If there's a Czech show like on a big tour, you know, like
Yeah.
Prague would be the city where it would
Yeah,
maybe burn.
The only city that
Yeah, nobody-
people would play.
Yeah, they would just be like a one.
Prague has one of the highest numbers of expats in Europe.
It's a beautiful city.
Understandably, it's a beautiful, one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
yeah, definitely.
But the funny thing about these tours we go on, we'll do like 20 dates in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, in towns where you just
And then like one or two out, like
Yeah.
okay.
Like we'll do
Cities.
2 big cities, and then the rest is like cities you
Yeah.
can barely
I
pronounce.
can't
Last time-
Ustinad Labum.
Dude, Usti is a hot city.
last
Time,
time,
like 100 kids would come out and wild out and have fun.
Yeah,
insane.
last time I was there, I did 3 weeks of shows in just the Czech Republic, and it's like this. The country's probably the size of Georgia, you know. Like,
Right, yeah.
Imagine doing like 3-week tour in Georgia, you know, like it's insane.
Yeah, like that's the most insane thing to me about what you're saying right now is that like these tiny towns are having shows, you know, just like at
Yeah.
all. Like you have rural cities all over Georgia and like, you know, the
Yeah.
United States where they don't have any sort of live music. If they
Yeah.
do, it's like cover bands and stuff.
But it's a different idea because a lot of it is like people putting in the effort. It's not like it's easy and everything's set up and laid out. Some places it is, and there's like a venue where we can do that. But that's why we end up playing all these crazy places because it's just like 1 or 2 kids that are like, we're going to make this happen. We're going to borrow a generator from this guy. We're going to borrow this speaker, and this guy can help with this. And they just like come together and make it happen. And not for monetary gain.
I think some of it is generational.
It's
because,
cultural for sure.
Like this is the generation that are putting together these shows is like the people that are hitting their 20s, the first generation to be hitting their teens and 20s that wasn't under communist
After the-
situation. So there was like this big. Whenever that happened, I think the country, there was all this hope and all this like, oh, things are gonna be crazy, and like all this influx of culture, and so you had all these people in little towns that were like starting to listen to like punk music and American music like way more, and like putting on all these weird shows in places. But I don't know if that's going to be the same anymore, because people will probably move to like the bigger cities, and because it seems like there was like a generation of folks that everybody we meet over there is kind of in this 20 to 30-year-old area.
Well, but then there's Martin, the Godfather. There's
Yeah,
a guy
there's
that
the
organizes
dude.
shows for us in this tiny town, and he is like the guy who, during communism, was like going through the forest to Poland to smuggle punk 45s back into the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And like
Like,
could have gotten in
they were
serious
trouble.
trouble for
Yeah.
it, you know, like was risking his freedom pretty much to
Yeah.
get
He's-
punk rock into the
and
Czech
he's just
Republic.
60s now.
Yeah, now he's like in his 60s and
He's
has
a
like
sweet little dude.
Yeah. he like ran
Amazing.
for government office at one point and has children and stuff.
Oh
like,
my
still throws
God.
these like
Yeah.
crazy shows
I
for
think-
rap and punk and
I think
everything.
that's why like a lot of those little towns, like everybody comes out because they don't take for granted the opportunity to experience like free expression, because it wasn't that long ago that it was not possible.
Yeah.
And in in places who've had more open societies for a longer period of time, you take it for granted, that you can just like go see someone express themselves and do something interesting. So a lot of these shows, like, it's everything from like teenagers to like old people.
Oh yeah.
Like, and they all come and they're all open-minded and like all seem to enjoy whatever's happening.
I've played
just
in
because
places,
it's happening.
where I'm pretty sure none of them know what I'm saying, and I'll play for like an hour and a half. Like I go to this little village. I'm playing in a community center. There's like the whole place comes out, and I try and talk to people. There's like 2 people that could really kind of speak English, but the rest of these people are all super attentive, and they're drinking beers and just like, yeah, play that one again. And I'm like, okay.
You know
Holy
when you do banter and there's like 2 people
Yeah.
laughing.
You say like one word in Czech or something, they're like,
Connecting point.
yeah.
I was actually going to ask if any of you spoke other languages or if you're just over there winging it. Like,
I speak Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican, Italian. I speak both Spanish and Italian.
Learn a couple of words.
I don't speak
No
Czech.
Czech. Czech's
I know
the toughest for
I
me.
count to 4.
Like, we all learn how to say our pleases and thank yous, and at least a little bit of effort goes a long
Děkuji.
way. Děkuji. The
Děkuji.
Czech is like most difficult. I lived in Berlin for a little bit, so ich spreche ein klein bisschen Deutsch. I speak like very functional French, German, and Spanish, but only like 50 words in each.
Say something in Spanish.
Gracias, mi amigo. Cállate la boca.
¿Quieres carne en los pantalones?
Sí, claro. But yes, but Czech is difficult.
I love trying.
We had some they were actually really. You were saying that about being able to pronounce this one city.
They have a like an R with a little V over top of it, and it's a specifically Czech sound that doesn't exist in other languages. And they were even saying that during the war, like World War II, there was a password that has like 4 of these in it.
yeah.
Because only Czech people can say it, and not even all Czech people can say it. But so there's this town that we all play in called Kopřivnica, and it became incredibly impressive. Like I got the last time I was there, I got up and the first thing I said was that ahoy is hello. So I said ahoy Kopřivnica, and everyone's like.
I've never seen anyone try as hard as Andy.
Just nailed it. That was
Because like there was a tour where Andy did like when you went all the way to I forget, you went very far east.
I went to like 23 countries.
And he's like learning at least a couple words in
every night I would learn every country, different language I was in, I would learn to say, my name is Andy the Doorbum, thank you with all my heart in their language. And it was always, people really appreciate you going that extra mile, like even in Spain, like learning the Catalan or the, like the different dialects. Like, is the dialect different here in this part of Switzerland? Like, oh yeah, actually it is. Like, here's how you would say this. Like, awesome, I want to know.
High German,
I want to know
Swiss
how to do
Deutsch, French Deutsch.
Yeah, so even if it's just a couple
Flemish.
things, it's just nice to like show people that you care about their culture and that you are honored to be their guest, because it's not like you're insured the right to be there or something.
Right,
Like
exactly.
it's like I'm a guest in your house. Like if you take off your shoes when I come to your house, like of course when I come to your house, I'm gonna take off my shoes too.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna learn how to say hi and thank you and like.
We're all
give
kind
the
of
extra
ambassadors to show them that Americans can be pretty cool.
We could learn a couple. We could learn a couple words, you know.
Yeah.
Bonsoir.
We don't think our culture is the
Bonjour.
dominant or the best. Like no, I'm in your house. It's just a common courtesy, I think.
Well, here in Valdosta, it's like howdy, y'all. That sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I don't
we get
think
it.
we're
down.
saying howdy. I think you
Maybe just
put that
hey,
out.
howdy.
No, it's just
Y'all.
y'all.
What
We
I
just say
say,
y'all.
hey, y'all.
We're not
And so
saying
do we.
howdy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
All right, I'm gonna edit that out tonight. I'm not gonna say howdy tonight.
Howdy,
It's
y'all.
gonna be like,
Howdy, y'all.
blank, y'all.
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 Yeah, no, Floridians get to use y'all.
Yeah, we
Like,
can-
You know,
yeah.
that's a pretty
We can get
common.
y'all.
These guys are awesome.
North Carolina,
North
we were y'all.
Carolina, yeah,
North
y'all.
Carolina.
I mean, you know.
Come on, man. Miami.
What I say the other day that you were like, man, I haven't heard that.
Used to could.
Used to could.
I was
Used to could smoke in
I
here.
lived in California for 4 years, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, it's a long time since I've heard used to could.
Yeah, I
It was
lived in
nostalgic though. It was nice. It was like, I remember used to could. Like, oh, I used to
Man.
could too.
I heard you used to ride a skateboard down that road, but I don't know, man.
I love it. I love the southern dialect.
Yeah.
I love language in general.
I lived in Decatur, Georgia, and I was for about 4 years when I was a kid too. So yeah, we all have ties to the South.
So y'all have the right to say y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I grew up.
Grew up
Just like
saying
as a
y'all.
little kid, some of the things that stick.
Yeah.
Jacksonville has more of a connection to the South, where it's weird in South Florida. We almost feel like we're so far south. but not in
Caribbean.
the South.
Yeah. Florida's got
We
that
still
thing
adapt.
where like the more north you are, the more south it is, and then like
Yeah.
the more south you are, the like the stranger it gets.
Cuba.
Yeah.
I was born in Northwest Pennsylvania, but only lived there for the first year of my life, so I also have the right to say yins.
What is
I
even
can
that
yins and y'all. Yins
Yins
go to the
coming
store.
soon.
Y'all go to the store. It's the same. It's just
What?
How does
a little
that look?
pocket where they say it. It's just in Northwest
Like
Pennsylvania.
you gonna
part of
you get you in?
you
Pittsburgh.
ones.
Yins,
You
like
ones.
y'all.
You
You
ones.
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 That's a contraction.
It's
That's what I was
essentially
gonna
you
ask.
ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yin's
Yins.
gonna come over.
Yins.
Yins.
Yins
Our
going.
Funyuns
Yins.
YNZ.
It's just like y'all.
YINZ.
You all, you ones.
Are Funyuns from Pennsylvania?
I couldn't say that. Oil is. I was born in the town that was the birthplace of the oil industry.
Really?
First place
Is
oil
that
was
what that
ever drilled
that
from the
movie
ground.
about?
Titusville.
There will be
That's fun.
There will be blood.
I think what I love about Jacksonville is every time you say Jacksonville, people yell Duval.
Yeah,
Duval.
they do.
It's kind of
Under
good.
all circumstances.
I swear to God, we were playing Prague,
Yes.
and we were like, "Yo, what's up? Rick's from Jacksonville," and I heard this. I was like,
That's what I was
"What?"
like, but that's because of Astronautalis.
No, it was because there was a girl that
Oh,
moved
from
there.
Jacksonville.
I was like, that was the last place I thought I was going to hear a Duval was in Prague. It was like this little cafe. I'm like, what is happening here?
What the beep?
What the bleep?
What the cuss?
bleep? Snowball. What does this thing do?
It records.
That thing's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it records sound.
Yeah, just a snowball mic, just
Does
so we
it-
can all throw words at it.
I mean, is it
It's
like an
capturing.
Omni
Don't get
thing?
too close to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I mean, it can record multiple people if you
that
switch
buttery
it.
vibrato. You break the microphone.
It's decent. It's a
It
decent
melts.
little mic.
So
It's like
you-
those cartoons when they sing into the
sorry.
microphone and it
I was
like
Sorry, sorry.
it
Yeah,
weeps
cool.
and cries, you know? You know that chicken?
you
didn't
guys are
sing
way
this?
more interesting.
Sorry.
than me. No,
You know that
it's cool.
chicken that
She's still
sings?
trying to interview us.
Listen, I want to get this across.
No, it's fine.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
What?
What do you
That
say?
cartoon, The Rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the old Looney Tunes, and he'd be
Foghorn
singing,
Leghorn. Yes.
and the no,
Thank
not Foghorn, like
No,
when
no,
like
it's the,
it was like
the
Bing
crooner
Crosby,
one.
the crooner one, and he's like
Oh.
singing, and the microphone starts to faint.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Rick.
Oh.
I was
okay.
trying to do it with your
Rick's-
snowball.
You've been
microphone.
described as that.
Somebody, what now?
That's
Rick's
a
the
long
microphone
description.
crook.
Well,
What's the name of that rooster?
I don't know.
Only
It was like,
Have a name?
We don't.
Oh, well,
but it was like Bing Crosby,
bummer.
but skinny.
I don't
skinny dude.
remember. Yeah.
Dalton is a child.
Right.
So.
Looney Tunes. You know Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, I know. Bugs Bunny,
Remember?
yeah. I mean, I've seen
Daffy-
Boomerang, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Jiminy Cricket.
Dalton's 22.
That's a
Here's
cuss.
Dalton.
Wow.
Let's get into some questions, man.
Hey,
We're talking
yeah.
about
No, it's fun. I really enjoy what you guys have going on. All I was gonna ask is, how did you land in Valdosta? Like, I know that I don't have all of you played here before.
Hurricane Party.
No,
Okay, so I
Hurricane
know-
Party has.
And I
but
did a
it's-
Yeah.
solo show here once.
Yeah, but it's all through Zeta.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and well, actually, I should say Jeff Hill of
Right.
Machinist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met Machinist did the Zeta tour the last time, and when they played Miami, I played with them. That's how I got introduced to Jeff, and so we always talked about got to come up. And the last time we were doing like a little Florida run, we set up a show. Zeta was coming from the north, we were coming from the south, and we all played together with like a bunch of touring bands at the DIY house.
Nice.
So that's how we made the connection, and have since been spreading the gospel. But Zeta set this whole thing up, and it's the reason all of us are here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. So, how long have you guys been in Valdosta right this second? Did you guys like just get
Just
in and
got
come
here.
right here?
Just
Okay,
got
cool.
here.
So you haven't experienced Valdosta yet. All right.
No.
It's fine. You're not missing a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of it before.
A lot of people have not, unless you're just from kind of this
Mm-hmm.
general
You gotta
area.
drive through it all the time.
So, like, I'm from a smaller southern town near here, so this was a big
What's
deal
it called?
for me.
Yeah.
Douglas, Georgia.
Okay.
We have a Walmart.
Cool.
We're real proud of that.
True.
For fun, you would drive around the Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
kids would
nice.
hang out in the Walmart parking lot, and kids would hang out in the Kmart parking lot, and
Was
they
there
would
gangs?
fight sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like where I
Yeah.
grew up.
Were they
Yeah,
corporate
yeah.
sponsored games?
Yeah. It's kind of like really white
Oh,
trash
dang.
West Side Story.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
K gang, what's up? Wall
Dub
gang,
gang, hey.
Aye.
It's dub.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so
Hella meth.
hopefully you guys enjoy it here in Valdosta.
I have a Kmart shirt. Should I not wear it?
I mean, so
Don't drive through
I
that
don't know
town
if
with
any
a Kmart.
Kmart's like still exist. Our Kmart just shut down. It was a
I think
huge
they
deal
all
for
We have a
Douglas.
Kmart in South
yeah.
Florida. I still
There's a
shop
couple
at
of them,
They're
yeah.
all done, Bobby. They're gone.
I think they
I'm up by
are.
my house.
I think they're going to.
Dania Beach, boy.
It's gone soon.
There's like a couple places where
Got
like, they do
lost.
really well, but then others where they just don't at all. I was a cashier at Kmart
Oh,
for
my
a little while.
goodness, no.
Yeah,
That's
for like
precious.
6
I
months.
have some really
was
fond memories of
miserable.
Kmart.
My cousin won a TV show and he won 60,000 Kmart bucks, and then they were like, "But we're closing this year." Like Kmart's like
They
closing
just
down
give them a
everywhere.
store.
I'm pretty sure that's $60. I don't think that's like. I don't think that's
Oh,
anything.
no, we all got tons of gifts, but it was like, "But you can't get this one, this one, this one." It was just like, it was
60,000.
awesome.
Remember the smell. Kmart had a smell.
Every Kmart
Old?
across the country.
It's the same smell. I
Yeah.
remember that
Like
smell.
Subway.
Yeah, like
Subway's got-
Subway.
They all got smell.
Yes.
Kmart had a smell. And I remember my mom tells me there was like those little horses.
Oh yeah, carousel.
Yeah. And she said, she said
We were talking
whenever,
about mini ponies. I don't
yeah,
know.
tiny, there was little horses, Kmart horses.
Yeah, horse.
Little horses at the Kmart. And she said we were driving by the Kmart and I was like dead asleep and I was like 2 or something. And she said I just like, when we got close to the Kmart, she just heard me go, "Horse. Horse. Horse." And she was just like,
You
oh
could
my
smell it, like it was like
I don't know, man. I like knew
it's
the
like a
horses
dog
were
that
there.
goes around and about to
I could feel that carousel spinning, energy.
Carousel.
I don't know if she said she like took me to like ride it,
Mhm.
but I would imagine I've been pretty persistent if I like just woke up and was like, "Horse."
So whenever you
Sounded
smell
really
a
cute, though.
Kmart, you say "horse" or
Horse.
just like that comes
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
beautiful. Kind of miss it. They started falling off though, man. Whenever they tried to give you like, God, what are they doing? They're like it towards the end of Kmart. I don't know. You still go there, but it
Still
seems
Kmart.
like it takes for friggin' ever to get checked out. Like they ask you all these questions.
I know, that's 100% true.
They
yeah.
give you all these weird receipts. You got to put in different codes, and like I'm just trying to get a pencil
Mhm.
or these socks. And they're like, yeah, but do you want like, what is your phone number and your email and your address?
We should
Can you
start-
fill this thing out?
Would you like to shop your way through a
We
horse
should set up
card?
a
Yeah,
workshop
all that
where we can go
stuff.
streamline Kmart's
Dude,
checkout
they just
process.
are
the
not.
last 3 Kmarts.
Yeah, I was about to
There's
say,
money.
there's
Save-
not that many left.
There's at least
Are they connected to
$3 for each
Sears?
of
Is that a
this
thing?
plan.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
So Sears is going to
I like this Kmart optimization plan.
Yeah.
It's a real good business
I
plan.
miss
Talk
Sears.
about a resilient business.
Now, do you think does Sears smell like Kmart too?
No, Sears is closing too.
Yeah,
They're
there's a
connected
smell.
to the
You
same
remember the
company.
smell of Sears?
Is
Is
the
that the
smell
same
a bad smell,
I really
or is it
don't
just?
remember.
No, it's
the
just like
Sears
product.
smell.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
It's a neutral
I
smell.
think
It's like an
Sears.
appliance, like a large appliance.
Yeah, yeah.
Go
Yeah.
It had that appliance
dishwasher.
smell. And perfume and appliances.
I'm really glad that this conversation went this direction.
And
No, I am too. I
polyester.
really am.
I think
Polyester
everyone who's
probably.
interested in music.
Listen,
Just
you
like,
guys,
very curious
hey, Snowball guys.
what we think about Kmart.
Feel free to edit.
No, we're keeping all
is
of
a
it.
good,
This is
important
very
information.
important.
I mean,
Y'all out there in podcast
yeah.
Raw and
world
uncut.
understand. You know that Kmart smell.
Yeah.
I know you know that Kmart smell.
Could be some Kmart bigwigs listening.
Yeah.
Yo, we're looking for that sponsorship though.
I think they
I
were
know
the
y'all
ones
going
that
out
had
of
the blue
business.
light special when they had things on
Blue
it.
light special.
Yeah, and that's what we call it whenever people get pulled over. So in Douglas, if
Holy
someone got pulled over,
stromboli.
we're like,
Blue
they got the
light
blue light special.
Man, I remember
Blue
Pick
light
and
tour.
Save. Remember Pick and Save?
No.
Nobody
No.
knows what you're talking about.
Holy ding dongs. You know what I'm saying? Was that Florida or just Jacksonville? You didn't have Pick and Save? You don't know Pick and Save?
We have
We got Pick and Save.
I've heard of Pick and Save.
Yeah. So we had a Pick and Save. A Midnight Madness. I remember going to Midnight Madness sale on like New Year's Eve.
Just trying to rein this in.
Yeah, I'm just letting it go now.
It was
Just
cool,
forget it.
man. I
give
tell
up.
you what. And it was
You
like
like-
I was with my friends, like this Filipino family, and like all the ladies wanted to go shopping on Midnight Madness. I'm like, cool, and I'm hanging out with all these Filipinos, and like there was a little cart with a blue light, and they would chase it around the store, and it would go to all the different sales. So there'd be this horde of older women just like walking around chasing this cart that was like, woo, woo, woo. And then the kids were just in these other packs like going around. And I remember buying a Smashing Pumpkins CD.
Which one?
Changed my life.
Whoa.
Siamese Dream?
Yeah, dude. My mom gave me $10, and I was like, I saw that
I love
Today
that.
video. I know.
Yeah.
I know you do.
I got in Puerto Rico. I was actually visiting.
Booyah!
I was visiting my grandmother, and we went to the mall, and she bought that from Christmas for me.
Was it
You
in
were
a
like-
big box?
Nah, it was little.
I was gonna say we accidentally got back to music.
Yeah, see?
Hey,
Full
hey,
circle.
Yeah, there's a method.
You don't even know. You gotta just wait till it comes back around.
No, I appreciate it. Which, speaking of businesses and whatnot, I always ask people, just out of my general curiosity, like, what's your day job? Do you have a day job? You just touring? What do you guys do?
It's cool for me.
Yeah.
When I'm in town, I try to work at bars, like bartending.
Yeah.
Something that I don't need to be there all the time to do. Other than that, it's just this. But my
That's
wife
cool,
is
I
a
mean, yeah.
teacher, so she has like the steady
Yeah.
income, and I have the fluctuating. Put them both together, and it kind of works.
Cool.
I bartend. I work at a brewery owned by some friends of mine. I've also dabbled in a little bit of like marketing and event promotion for said brewery and bar. I just quit a job doing electrical work on yachts that I was in way over my head.
Oh,
The yacht wrap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And my name is Jacques, so you know the whole Jacques Cousteau nautical
Yes.
theme. I just I wanted to stick
Yeah,
with that. in my life.
Yeah.
he's got the hats.
Yeah, bartending suits me better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just tour like 200 days a year and run a record label called Fake 4 that all of these fellows have been involved with on some level or another. And
How did that get started?
I
for
do
you?
odds and ends. Like I've been working on TV shows a little bit, doing like carrying cables around. Like I was on like a homie of mine hooked me up with a job on FBI Most Wanted, which is like a TV show.
Wait, what? Okay, so no, explain.
He's like a best boy. You know, you see them
Kinda
at
like
the
Best
end.
Buy.
Yeah.
So he could
Best
hire.
Buy has
Sometimes he
its
had. Sometimes he could hire non-union workers, and so
Yeah.
I work on a TV set
Okay, that's cool.
occasionally.
I do the same thing. Since living in Los Angeles, I am a set builder for TV shows and
Nice.
different productions of different sizes, everything from like movies to webisodes.
Yeah, I saw you had an IMDb page.
Yeah,
Whoa.
well, I've been involved in a couple of film projects friends have done that have gone to film festivals and won some awards. Like
Yeah, you should watch that
independent
last
shows.
short. What was that called? The short you were in.
Bring Water.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
there's a new one too called Worship that'll be out soon, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
What'd you do for that one for worship?
I played a demon.
Played a demon? Oh, nice.
Straying from your regular.
Dude, that's such a stretch, man. How did you pull that off?
Cool, like how it all works out to be.
Demon
Are you sure it's
Pagan
real tit?
Witch.
I already have the
No, it's
mask.
absolutely not at all.
Yeah.
The mask that I use in the performance, actually, I think it's probably only looks pagan because it's all material sourced on my family's farm. like from so it's. I grew up around that sort of stuff, so it ends up being pretty earthy because my upbringing was pretty earthy.
So when you say like source, you mean like you collected it on your family's farm, or like?
Yeah, like the deer antlers, the dog bones, the chicken feet,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the mask. This is all news to me. I'm like,
That's
cool.
It's all just from
just
natural
mental image.
materials.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Close to the earth, that sort of
Just
thing.
tell them that you've seen it.
No, we don't lie here.
Okay. Good.
Who's
So
here?
it's real news.
Yeah.
it's various
Real
series.
news. But you were a door guy at one point, right?
For the the Milestone and Snug Harbor, 2 places in Charlotte, North Carolina, for 11 years. That's how I got the name. I recorded my first record on a 4-track in the little door booth while I was working.
You recorded it in the booth?
While I was working.
How do you do that?
It takes a long time because people keep coming in and interrupting you by
Yeah.
bands start playing. You're like, I gotta stop and try this later.
I gotta do my
Or somebody
job.
comes in and wants like a wristband. You're like, my dear friend Neil Harper, who ran it, completely encouraged it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool story. So, like, can you hear people, like, coming up and asking you for stuff on the
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
Cool.
my god, like I'm 22. I can't believe you're IDing me.
I was 20 when I couldn't even drink and I was carding people.
Maybe the baby bum.
Yeah, I was 20 when I started.
Sorry, Dalton was asking you about Fig 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear about that.
Get in that.
I thought we were talking about Kmart.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
we were talking about also
We circle back around to Best Buy.
CVS.
Yeah.
Those receipts you get.
Hey, let's talk about an important corporation. What were you saying about Fake 4?
Drapes.
Well, I just kind of wanted to know, like, how did that get started for you? Like,
I started Fake 4 with my brother in 2008 because
Shout out David.
shout out to my brother David. He was trying to release a record, and a few other labels, friends of ours in California named Grim Image, and friends in Ohio, this label called Squid's Eye, they wanted to kind of back what we were doing, but it didn't really fit their label's sound. So we created it out of necessity in 2008 with help and some funding from these 2 other labels. And from there, it just kind of grew bigger and bigger. And we, after the first record, we didn't get any outside funding. We just did it all ourselves.
yeah.
And then we're on our 80th release right now.
Gosh, that's awesome. So how many artists is on the record now?
I can't
label.
I can't even say. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
alumni. Yeah,
Wikipedia
but
or
like
something.
active artists, maybe.
We don't really do like that's the thing. We early on we had just gotten out of a deal in California that was with Snoop Dogg's management team, and
That's cool.
and
yeah.
we had like a real my old band had a real bad record deal with them, so we were just like we'd rather do it ourselves and
Yeah.
and be fair and just kind of help out people who didn't have opportunities, friends and family who didn't have opportunities to put out records. That's what we did. Yeah, so we don't own anybody's stuff aside from a couple of situations. We just license records, so we don't like sign artists. We just do it by the record. So it's not like I can't say like we have 70 artists on the roster. It's just
Right. It's more like
By
they come to you and then you
projects.
record. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
But we've created a family out of it though.
That's cool. That's awesome. Do you guys do like any like big festivals or anything with the label or anything like that? Or
We did one Fake 4 Fest in LA in 2011.
We've done
Yeah,
a few
what's the
showcases
what?
at South by.
We've done a lot of showcases at South
Ooh,
by
yeah.
Southwest.
I
was on that.
Tree Fort
Tree Fort
Festival.
Music Festival in Boise.
You and I played together on the one in South by Southwest.
Yeah,
The Fake 4 showcase.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
we-
second one.
We did those
The third
until our 10-year anniversary, and then I think we're gonna stop doing South by Southwest. It just doesn't really. I don't know. It's not really my thing
It's
anymore.
gross.
yeah.
It's weird.
This place is gross.
Has it just gotten too big
Boston.
or like?
Been too big.
Yeah.
It's just really like there's nothing geared. It's they market it as this like your big chance, your big break, but like there's like zero opportunity for anyone that already doesn't have like label and marketing money and budgets
Yeah,
behind them.
you're already getting backed if you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically set up a showcase at a venue that makes them a ton of money, you don't get paid, and your fans have to pay a ton of money to go see you. Usually,
I remember kind of
go
feeling.
and it ends up just being your fans and supporters who want to see you anyhow.
Which
Right.
you could just do a show at that point.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing is is getting a lot of artists in the same room that normally.
That was what I thought. Like, I hadn't toured that much, but I met a lot of people there. But even the little touring that I did when I started playing there, it was like, oh, this is just like a weird reunion for everybody that you met all year. Like, oh, you're from way over here, and you're from way over here, and you're all in the same place. And that almost seemed like more of a reason to go there than
that's
shows.
that's one of the best parts.
It was more like, okay, the show was whatever, but we're gonna go see his show and their show and her show, and then we're all just gonna party and eat all this stuff and like walk around, and there's gonna be some other cool bands playing that, like, I remember going to see Olafur Arnolds, this like Icelandic composer, and then like walked down the street and watched Ghostface Killer.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like,
Yeah.
who would have put those two together? Like going from this church to like Wu-Tang. I was like, what?
That
This
is the
is
cool
awesome.
thing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like that as much anymore, but I haven't been there a bit.
The coolest part was the free parties that, like, you know, kind of huddled around it. Because a lot of the like super cool shows that are going on, you just can't get into, even if you have a bracelet, because it's like for VIP, for press.
Or
you
first
know,
come, first serve.
First
They
come,
get
first
full.
serve. So there's just lines, and there's like everything you want to see is everywhere at the same time. So it's like stressful. But so all these free parties would kind of pop up everywhere at wherever. Like if you had a pool area at an apartment complex, somebody would like book 20 bands there, or like a Mexican restaurant with free chips and salsa,
Free
or like a
parties
laundromat.
and free stuff, man. Don't
Yeah.
forget them swag
Free
bags.
alcohol, free food. Like, so the festival started to crack down and tell artists, like, if you're playing an official showcase, you can't play a free party or you'll get like kicked out of your slot.
Yeah.
Sick
That makes
ass
sense.
bag of business cards.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You get a couple koozies, some flashlights, a bunch of pamphlets, some stickers,
Some pen lights,
a shirt.
A shirt.
Monster
Ah,
Energy,
shirt.
Monster Energy condoms,
A bag,
Little payment.
a Red Bull.
Red Bull crop
Yeah,
top.
when you sign in and they give you
Four
that
Loko.
swag bag, a Four Loko, they give you original.
I got Four Loko sweatpants
Yeah, dude.
made out of cans. Pretty awesome.
So did you guys have
Super comfortable.
like? So you went to some of these free parties and
love it.
stuff, right?
Lots
We
of them.
played.
Oh,
So when you
Played
get
them, okay.
booked officially at South by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have like your official showcase. So the Fake Four showcase would be official, and there'd be like there are years where I played 8 shows in
Yeah.
In 3 days. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember I signed the agreement to say that I wouldn't play anywhere else and then played a house party.
Yeah, we all did. We all did.
Yeah, like whatever.
Their
You're gonna
deal
monitor
is
it.
literally, and they say it's for everybody. Like for the official South by Southwest, you can either get a bracelet to get into like all the festival, which is cool because there's like seminars and interesting things, or you get like the fee is like $100,
$100, yeah.
and that, you know, like that doesn't cover anything: travel, hotel, food, nothing.
I took the bracelet though.
Yeah,
and
everyone
I
takes
wish,
the bracelet.
I wish that I had taken the $100 because the best acts that I was able to end up seeing, like I saw this amazing cumbia band from Colombia. There was like at a restaurant. It was the most incredible thing I saw while I was there. It was like, huh, that was the best. All the other ones I couldn't get into.
I've been taking the money for some years.
I would if I ever did it again. I would take
Take some money,
$100.
Lebowski.
I got really sidetracked with the whole Kmart thing. And
Have
all
we
that.
gone too far? We
I-
could
you
bring
know,
it back to
Bring
Kmart.
it back.
We're talking about
Let's
Best
talk
Buy.
about
Big box stores. Let's get into some.
Well, here on Dalton's notes, he had Dalton's notes.
ooh, is that a webpage?
Is that a sub
Welcome to
podcast?
Dalton's Notes.
Just,
Notes.
you know,
Dalton's.
he mentioned you guys wearing white jumpsuits.
Oh,
Why?
yeah. We
Way
paint
out.
houses on the side.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sometimes when we're touring and we just like we'll get a
That was a
house
job we
painting gig.
didn't.
An HPG. No. You want to explain the jumpsuits? They're not always white.
okay.
We have some variants.
I
Your
have
intel
some
is
really
wrong.
tight ones.
Yeah.
I think the idea was to because we'd already both established ourselves as solo people. I'm a
Yeah.
solo person.
So I'm a person.
I'm myself most of the time. So as a group, we wanted it to not be like Bluebird and Nicholas. We wanted it to be like these two guys.
Yeah. And we
So
felt like
some
our
generic
look had a lot to
thing-
do with that.
And I was thinking like, oh, jumpsuits. We'll just wear like some generic looking thing, and I'll wear sunglasses, and we'll wear hats, and that'll just be our thing.
Yeah, like we wore sports hats.
Sport
for,
hats
the
from,
very
like-
first beginning.
Yeah.
From like our respective towns, even though neither of us, I don't know anything about sports.
Two hoots about it. God darn foosball team. But I had a Jaguars hat on. Got a nice vintage one from the eBay.
Vintage.
Heard eBay smells a certain way too.
eBay stores have a good smell.
Is there a concrete mortar
goodness.
eBay?
Yes, that's where we got the jumpsuits from.
Oh, okay.
And now we've got different color ones too, so we can switch. Like tonight we're wearing the colors.
Colors.
Rival gang colors.
Yeah.
Colors.
A cool venue that we play all the time in Dunedin, Florida. Like made us some really crazy
decorated
jumpsuits the last
some.
time we came. They were like hanging in the green room for us. So
Just like, here you
that
go.
was cool.
But I
Shout out to
accidentally,
John Diddy.
Shout out John Diddy. Shout out Sweet Knees.
Dunedin.
I think I gave him the wrong size. Because apparently, because Jacques put his on and they were like, cool. And they were like, whoa, that looks crazy. And I was like, I'm going to put mine on and make sure everything's cool. And I'm like, uh-oh. This is like one size too small.
His butt.
I mean, I was packed in.
Yeah,
It was all
wasn't there like an okay patch on your butt? Or
Yeah, and there was an
100%?
A plus. They had put an
A+.
A plus on my left cheek or something. It was
I got the
some
guns. He's got the
woman
buns.
slapped my ass that night.
Nice.
Some older woman was like, and I was like, whew.
Harassment. We sued her for harassment.
Yeah.
Some
As
bullshit.
you do, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
We're not supposed to speak about it. Actually.
Oh right,
It's
we
ongoing.
have to go to the courts to fight
The power.
Yeah, man,
A
but
lot
them
of fun.
in tight pants, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about your names as well. Like, where did you get that?
Which
Whose
names?
names?
Your specific individual names that you
Bluebird.
have, but then also Hurricane Party as a whole.
Oof. I had a series of really unfortunate names when I was
Who were some
finding
of those?
myself with
Yeah,
the rap.
please tell us some of
Was
those.
S.A. Martinez one of those?
Yes, with my stint with 311, I was known as S.A. Martinez. And then I was actually, I used to wear this cool Dalmatian costume and I would sit on stage with Sublime as a
Blue Dog.
but only like for the Florida runs.
You were like one of my favorite parts.
I think Peanut was an early tag / rap name, and then
Peanut.
Dime. And then I settled on Bluebird, and I used to spell it both ways, like B-L-U-E and B-L-E-U. My name is Jacques, and I'm not French, and I have a super French name, and it's always been like a running joke, and people teased me. So I thought it was funny to also, be Bleu Bird. And I was on tour. I think it was Knoxville. Yes, it was Knoxville, and I was playing a show. I showed up with like the other group I was on tour with, and the promoter was like, "All right, where's Grand Buffet?" And it was two guys. They were like, "We're here." I'm like, "Where's Bluebird?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm right here." And he was like, "Where's the rest of your band?" And there was like this pretty big indie band called Bluebird, like a 7-piece that was like well known, and we were kind of like both working with the same booking agency, and so in that case, they like thought they booked the band. And we're like, oh, it's like you're a rapper? So that night when I went on stage, I was like, hey, and there was like people who came to see the band. So I was like, what's up guys? I'm Jacques from the band Bluebird. Everybody else got arrested last night for drunken disorderly conduct. I'm just gonna like do my solo rap project. And everyone was like, yeah, like real supportive. I never told them any different. But after that day, I went solely as BLEU. And it just came from like, Bluebird school buses. I used to record on one that Skywriter used to own. There was a jazz label called Bluebird. Charlie Parker used to put out records on Bluebird, and also like the Bluebird of Happiness. I thought like if I should have a rap name, and not trying to be tough like every other rapper I idolized because I wasn't very tough. It would be something, more fitting. So that's where mine came from.
You do spread that happiness.
I tried.
You weren't trying to be like Dime.
No.
Yo, Don. That's my boy Don.
Or Peanut.
Oh, Peanut.
Yeah. Redbird was too much like Redbird.
Peanut. Could have been Mr. Peanut when you got older.
I could still be Mr. Peanut to you.
Oh my God.
So Rickolas was just like your name.
Ridiculous. I was in this band called Julius Airwave for a long time, and I started writing some songs besides with the band, and because that's what you do.
That's what he does.
And I was like burnt this CD. I was like, oh, I'm putting together this CD of all these solo songs, and every week we would play wall ball. Me and some friends. I had to do a motion for it. if you can't see this, I'm moving my hand like I'm throwing a little ball.
Kmart.
At Kmart, where it smells a certain way. It reminds me of horses.
About Ricolas, the CD.
Yeah, and my friend Micah was like, "Hey, what's up, Ricolas?" Because I was like, "What am I gonna be called?" And I was like going through all these names, trying to find a name. Could be like
Micah.
Yeah, Micah Cooper was like, "Yeah, what's up, Ricolas?" And he was just joking around. I was like, "Oh, that's dumb. I'm gonna make that my name." And now it's the name, which I still think is kind of terrible. But
So it's just kind of like the dumbest thing you could think of.
yeah, you want it seemed like serendipitous. Like you gotta look for something. You gotta feel it in your gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it feels right, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's it." I don't know why, but that's what it's gonna be. Same thing with Hurricane Party.
Yeah, you just threw it out there, and it just hit me right. Like,
I was like, "Oh, duh!" Like,
of course.
Every decision that happened in this band seemed like it was already made before we made it. It just seemed like
The Salt Life Gods.
yeah, Salt Life Gods were like
Yes.
throwing a bunch of fish,
Spring break,
fish
dolphins,
CDs,
clouds,
Salt Life
sparkling,
Gods,
salt life
yeah.
clouds, just rained
bunch of pina
inspiration.
colada,
Monster
margarita
energy
mix,
inspiration.
I like that.
all over us. Coconut milk.
What?
It's getting poured.
A bath of coconut milk?
It's coming all over us.
Praise Jah.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. Every move was like boom, boom. White jumpsuits, and it was like dirt. That's what we need to be wearing. And
Yeah.
it was like Hurricane Party. Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know why. We didn't even have another name ever, did we?
The coolest thing I think is explaining to people in the Czech Republic what a hurricane party
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Because guess what? They don't have them.
They don't have
You're right.
hurricanes.
Yeah.
Or hurricane
Especially-
parties.
Yeah. So to them, they're like, "Is that real?"
Like,
Like,
yeah.
it was like, "Yeah, there'll be this storm that's the
We're all gonna
size
die."
of Europe
Pretty much the size of your country. Yeah,
coming
at
towards
us.
Florida," and we're like,
How you doing?
"Let's get some beers. Let's get some stuff. Let's lock it up in here.
52
Put on
minutes
some
on
Yeah.
music."
It's fine. Don't edit it, so
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah. Everybody bring the dogs and the beer
Yeah,
and
just to
all
see
the
if we
food
can
that's
make it
going
through this
bad, and
thing.
let's do it together. And they were like
I know,
super
that's
fascinated
crazy.
with that idea.
I had to fly back into a hurricane once. Like I was playing a show and I was
Serves you right.
Huh?
Serves you right.
Yeah. I was finishing up a solo tour in Europe, and it was outside Prague, and we were driving to the place, and that week I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to get home." I've been for like a month and a half, and I was like, "This is gonna be great. I'm gonna get home." And my wife was like, "Yeah, unless that hurricane like catches your plane." I'm like, "Come on, I didn't know." And then I started looking at it, I'm like, "Oh my god!" And it's like it was like 4 years ago, and it's like the one that was like huge.
The big one.
I forgot what her name was.
Funyuns.
Yes, the Hurricane Funyuns was coming, and it was big old ring. I think that's why I call it Funyuns. But yeah, anyway, I was like telling them I had to like call and switch my flight, and within like that night, I remember telling our booking agent, like I was like, "Yeah, I'm on the phone with them," and he was like, "You are crazy."
Yeah, that's a great
He's like, "Oh my
That's a
god,
good Adam.
I would be so scared."
Scared.
Yeah.
Sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was just about
Yeah.
to say, is your agent?
It moved, it wiggled at the end.
The very first couple words was pretty good. And then
Yeah.
went
I think I got it in my head because you guys were like, "Oh, it sounds like I'm there." Like,
It's just so safe out there. The Czech Republic is like one of the safest places in the world.
man, if the
And
wind
it's also
got
like
up to like
the
70,
nature is really safe there. Like nothing happens there. It's
They
just
don't
like
have like earthquakes or anything like that?
No
Or
earthquakes, no
tornadoes?
dangerous volcanoes, no
reptiles.
bad storms, no.
it's just such a mellow. Like,
There's no guns.
there's no guns. No one
pretty-
gets shot by the
Pretty
police.
mellow. No
Pretty
wildfires,
like
really.
even keel. Like there's no real military presence.
No, it's just
No.
a very mellow place.
Yeah,
If they weren't landlocked, it'd be the perfect country. There was some water there.
Yeah.
Swimming.
So that's a lot
A lot
you
of
have to
beer.
explain too. So like you're
Sounds pleasant.
ambassadors for Florida too
Oh yeah.
out there.
the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a thing when we're out there and someone's like, "Where are you from?" and I always just say Florida, and then he thinks that people get like a bad idea when you say Florida, so
Florida
we have to
man.
specifically say Miami. Even though
What?
neither of us are. No, what do you say? Jacksonville, Miami. Duval.
I don't remember ever saying that. But I could have forgotten that I said that.
Just like an important distinction, because like the idea is like, well, people aren't gonna like, they don't know how diverse Florida can be. So if you just say I'm from Florida, they just assume Florida man.
No, I mean, like, I think we go Florida. We don't even say United States, which should be the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you're in another country, you say what country you're from. I
Oh,
always think you say the further away you are from a place, the bigger the place becomes. So when I'm in Georgia, or I'm from Florida. If I'm in Gainesville, I'm from Jacksonville. If I'm on the moon, I'm from Earth. You know what I mean? It just keeps getting bigger. If I leave the solar system, I'm from the solar system. I don't know what it's called.
Milky
outside
Way.
of there.
Yeah.
Milky Way is the
solar
galaxy.
system.
Yeah, you go to Andromeda
Oh, is that the-
galaxy,
okay.
then you're like, oh, I'm from the Milky Way. Like, oh, Milky Way.
Yeah.
You always from Florida, puppy.
Yeah. But then, what part of Jacksonville? Oh, part of Jacksonville. So the smaller it gets, Anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, you know
I don't
what
know
I'm
about
saying?
that, but that's true.
The further you get, the bigger it is.
I feel like in other countries though, they consider Florida really its own standalone thing.
It
like we
kinda
could cut
is.
it off
That's
and
why
just
you
let
can
it float out in
say-
the ocean. And,
Yeah. You could say I'm from Florida, and they're like,
Party.
oh.
Yeah.
I remember during one election, somebody was like, oh, bad place for voting. Oh.
Don't get me started.
Hey, come on. Hey,
I'll be here all week.
Oh, Jiminy.
Well, I think we've hit it.
How
now.
long is this podcast?
It's,
So far, it's
How long generally?
56
I want
minutes.
to eat
yeah,
some tacos.
we usually
Maybe about an hour.
yeah, so we're
40
about
an hour.
at it.
Oh, cool.
How long was the last Nubis episode?
It
I
was
listened to it.
a,
54.
I thought it was a little over
Alright.
an hour. I'm not
As long
sure.
as we
Hang on.
beat them.
Oh well, then you got to keep bantering probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
How long was our Kmart segment this one?
I think we're just trying to say
Let's just
as
talk
much as
about the
possible
food
without
we're
actually
gonna
saying
eat.
anything.
Yeah,
I'm going to eat
yeah.
some tacos. I'm looking forward to some tacos right now, boy.
Looking forward to like 4 flavors of Yarritos.
Yeah, Yarritos tacos.
Do you guys have to look?
Hot
Okay, they were 54 minutes, so you're
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, we won.
Booyakasha.
Take that, Miami.
But you're from Lauderdale.
Well, they had our friends in Las Nubes.
But Andy Burns was an hour and 8 minutes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Who's Andy?
Where's he
He's-
Burns?
So he had
Where
roots in
Andy?
Australia, so we got to talk about dangerous animals of Australia. So I like that we have this.
Cool.
Let me
concept
tell you
of-
about dangerous animals in Australia. Did he talk about New Zealand?
Well,
How there's like none?
We
over
talked a
there?
lot about Japan because he's also from. Well,
yeah,
he
so
lives
we
in
had a
Japan.
lot of
The
cool
rat-
Who
Japanese
is this
stuff.
guy?
New Zealand's really interesting.
Huh?
He's a cool guy, but yeah, we have a lot of Japanese stuff because I'm a huge nerd. So we went on like a Pokemon thing.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
We can get into some Japanese stuff.
Sounds weird when you say
Come
it.
on.
Yo.
You say that very weird.
Hey, we can get into some Japanese stuff. They get free.
Rick's actually a huge anime fan.
Cherry
Yeah,
blossom.
yeah.
Cherry
Yeah.
blossoms.
Cherry blossoms,
Cherry poppin'
Godzilla, cherry poppin' daddies,
Yeah, no, with
swing
Charizard.
music.
I'm into anime, Godzilla, Pokemon. So with him,
Really?
we were just we went into like giant robots and
Yeah.
Godzilla. And,
Kaiju.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
growing up, I was like growing up in the 90s when it was like impossible to find anything. Like just finding Japanese. I remember going to like
Yeah.
Oriental stores and just buying Japanese stuff. Just like, oh, it's Japanese. Or like buying Japanese magazines
yeah,
that had anime in them just because there was no magazines that had anime in them. So you're like looking at the drawings and trying to draw the drawings. And
Manga.
Yeah.
Maybe.
when you got manga, or then
Yeah.
when things started getting released over here.
yeah. No, I grew up with Toonami on Cartoon Network, where you get to watch.
Toonami,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember-
Gundam.
It goes back even further.
You're getting it. You're going Japan.
This is a whole other podcast.
Yeah, it was like when
Yeah, Stop
Dragon
This
Ball
Will
started
started
getting
it.
aired over here. It was like 96.
You remember how they smelled though? There's like a specific smell.
Dragon Ball?
Dragon Balls.
No, but VHS, the smell of like a new VHS. Because back then you couldn't buy
Right.
movies, so you
Yes.
had to like find people that had fan sub stuff and
Yeah.
like go be like, hey man, can I borrow and dub? Like, so you all had these like 3rd, 4th generation like episodes of Dragon Ball Z, all in Japanese, like nothing subtitled sometimes, and just watching them like, this is it,
Could
this
you,
is
like,
the thing.
Re-record it though, like VHSs you could.
Don's
record.
never seen a VCR.
I've had
Oh,
a
come
VHS.
on, my man. You used to have to plug in.
I had a VHS.
Dude, there was all types of magic you could do.
But
You
you
could
could-
like plug in one to another and record what was on that one. Like you
If
can
you
mix.
got an official tape though, like I think some of them were like cassettes where you had to tape over the little nubs.
Yeah, you could tape over the nubs.
to make it where you could record over it because they tried to like stop you from being able to
Right.
record over it. But then everybody figured out like, oh, you just cover
Yeah.
up these little things and it lets you record over
Or
it.
making mixtapes of all the intro songs.
Yeah.
Like plugging my tape deck into the VCR, and then like you'd have these like 40-second intros
Yeah.
of like Ranma or Chaos Entry Beast Warriors or.
We figured out a way where you could record into. There was a bootleg way that you
Magic
could
Night
record
Wave.
music onto VHS, and you could get more because it's thicker tape.
I heard
than a
that.
cassette.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you could record like 4-track
Oh, my goodness.
onto a VHS. It was pretty limited, like it was hard to like make it work.
VHS is pretty dope.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Are you releasing your next record on VHS?
Dude.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
We should have like a scratch and sniff nasal component that goes along with this podcast.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember some scratch and sniff stuff?
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be like Kmart
I remember the way they smell.
VHS smell.
Or those markers, you know when the markers would smell and you're like, you try and get them close to your nose?
I like that licorice one.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say the licorice.
Oh,
one.
You like it?
Yeah.
Love some
Licorice one
licorice.
I think a
was-
lot of people hate on black licorice.
No, it was
Losers.
great. That was the best marker.
I mean, I'm a red
Yeah.
licorice guy. I'm sorry.
I feel like now we've actually probably taken up enough time. But to end it, let's go with where people can find your music on the internet so that they can pull it up.
Just type in Hurricane Party and it's going to be there.
Everywhere, we have videos on YouTube, streaming on every site. It's all over, everywhere.
Mine is CESCHI. Just
Ceschi.
Google that.
Google. Let's use the Google.
Just use Google.
There's a little website called Google. It's cool.
You can find my music at andythedoorbum.com, and it also most of it flows through the streams. And
Oh, damn, you got that domain name life?
Damn.
after a long time, somebody bought it from me one time. Though I let it lapse, I forgot that I had to pay for it every year, and somebody bought it and tried to like charge me $400 to get it back, and I was
Come
like,
on.
"Joke's on you! Nobody wants anything about Andy the Doorbum except for me." So I just waited for a year, and then they lost it, and I got it back for like
Long game.
$11.
Long
It's
game.
like
Somebody got
that name
Ricolas
is
like
useless
way
to
early.
anyone but me.
Some like gamer in San Francisco has Ricolas.com
Why are
and
you
Ricolas
promoting
Twitter and Ricolas Instagram. So I had to go I am Ricolas.
So don't go to any of those.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
me.
I'll support that.
You stole this kid's name. Like,
Yeah.
there's some kid on Twitch that's going to find this and be like, what is this guy?
No, he made fun of me once.
Oh, nice.
I had a website
Okay.
and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, this guy's a jerk. So this guy.
Out of all of
too.
us.
I had this website and I
Did you
just
say
put
that
some drawings
the
that I
one-
did up and they were like
The
kind of
rappers
like
didn't drop any
kid
F-bombs.
looking and one was like, but that,
You said
just I thought they looked cool. And I like did like a weird bird and like all this stuff, and it looked like colorful and things like that. And there was the one with like a car, and he just did other versions of my drawings, and
I know,
like
we're still here
made
for
fun of
it.
them, like hipster shit or
Whoa!
whatever.
Tweety!
He was just
I
making
didn't know
fun
about
of
this
me.
battle, man.
Yeah,
You should document
Ricolas.
Well, we should get a bell and just every
yeah.
time.
So actually, if you go to his Twitter and just make fun of him,
That'd be
that
really
would be
cool.
good.
We don't promote internet bullying.
Yeah, but unless your name's Ricolas and you stole all my stuff
Yeah.
and made fun of me.
Do Andy and I get a prize for not cussing?
we do not
Or
cuss.
do you want to just cuss on the camera?
I also don't have any tattoos. Pure temple.
I don't either.
Chesky has 311 tattoos on his lower back.
Yeah.
It's fine. Dalton
There's a
doesn't
chance
have any tattoos. So
How do you know?
You said it before
Yeah, you're
out
right.
there.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
we're
Yeah,
punks.
we've had this discussion.
Goody
yeah.
two shoes.
Ooh, is that going to be the new punk thing? Not get tattoos?
It is actually.
Booyah!
Pretty sure it
Dude,
is.
nice.
Yeah.
Now that
Got to held out forever, but
Yeah.
It's like soccer moms have tattoos now.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
That's
it's cool
not
to be
tough
clean
at all.
skinned.
They're like live, laugh, love. Just,
Oh my god.
it's-
Yeah, that's
it's true.
perfect.
That's
I need to
what
get that
inspires.
I'm
one.
gonna get a live, laugh, love face tat,
Yeah, just
or just LLL.
yeah.
Cheek, nose, cheek.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right.
But yeah,
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
it's been off the record with lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So, Hurricane Party, Chesky, Andy the Doorbum.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is brought to you by the Valdosta Daily Times.
Woo.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Try that again.
Slipping my way through the cracks and I hope you don't overreact when my body collapses. I've been wandering hoping to find my own place on this planet. I've been up in the middle of it, I've been up in the middle of it, in the middle earth. I've been nothing but real with you, I've been nothing but real with you. Slipping my way through the cracks and I hope you don't overreact when my body collapses. I've been wandering hoping to find my own place on this